Please allow me to introduce Patrick Kinkade and Deborah Stone, if they'd please come forward. And Christina, our irresistible, indefatigable leader, is going to tell you a little bit more about them, and I'm going to bid adieu and turn the final part of the program over to our great energy bunny, wonderful woman, Christina Cox, who's so full of faith and determination, and she will see this museum through to reality. And thank you all from me very much for being part of this and being with us tonight. Thank you very much.
As we conclude our program, what is a museum without art? People like Thomas Kinkade, Patrick Kinkade, Zachary Kinkade, Deborah Stone, who just produced that film. And this is what the museum wants to do, is educational program about artists. So would you please give them a round of applause? Started off as an artist himself with his brother, but he went on to be a professor of criminal, criminal justice. He's a serious one. And he's accepting an award for his brother and also his son tonight. Patrick, would you come and speak? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I truly have two simple rules in life. One is to never follow opera singers, and two, never follow people with real credential and accomplishment. But here I am, so you have to put up with me. My brother, Thomas Kinkade, was an artist, and my son, Zachary Thomas Kinkade, is an artist. But even more than that, they were both patrons of the arts. They truly believe that to engage in art is part of the human experience, an essential part, something that makes you a better person, and in turn makes society better as a whole. And the reason for that belief is relatively simple. Art is a communication. You set aside the aesthetic, you set aside the beauty. Art is a communication, a dialogue between the person who creates the art and the viewer. And in that dialogue, you can be inspired. Your imagination can take flight. Dogma can be challenged in art. Hope can be reestablished where there was none. And faith can be reborn if it had been flagging. Truly, there are times when I think we all feel we live in a relatively dark world, that the problems of this world are overwhelming and constantly hitting us in the face when we listen to the news. But art is a light against that darkness. It reaches out and touches the human soul. And that is so important in terms of our own humanity. This is why I believe the National Museum of Catholic Art is so important. It is going to act as a vessel to that light. It's going to preserve and present art for future generations so that they might enjoy the light. I have been blessed to see the evolution of two artists. I saw my brother grow from a child who put a towel on a small coffee table and called it his home studio, to grow to the point where he became one of the most important voices in art of his generation. I've seen my son step into the almost Herculean task of following in my brother's footsteps, and yet still have the courage to blaze his own trail in art. And I can honestly say that both of them would be so thankful to be a part of this very, very noble endeavor, the establishment of the National Museum of Catholic Art. So it's with a great deal of enthusiasm I thank Christina and all those associated with the Museum of Catholic Art. And I want to take a moment to thank all of you out there who are working towards this great end. I truly want to thank you for sharing the light.
Deborah, I know you want to say something about the film, so go ahead.
Thank you, Christina, and the National Museum, Catholic Art Library. For 25 years, I have been a director, producer, writer with actors, and doing a documentary is a totally different ballgame because you don't have take two, you don't have take three, you don't have a script for them to memorize. They're telling it from their heart, and it was a journey that I was on that I never really experienced. I met people that were CEOs, art critics. I met the regular, hardworking American whose paintings that they had at home on the wall were something they woke up and gave them hope every day. It's people that would spend money that it took them a year to save up to buy a Kinkade. And I was so touched on this journey. Of course, I couldn't do it myself. I had a great team that worked on it. But more than that, after losing Tom, Pat stepped in, and he was like my supporter. He opened doors that I couldn't have opened. And during his grief, and it was great, he helped me to get the people that I need to interview. And I just thank you, Pat, for all of his hard work. And I'm not used to being up here. I like to be behind the camera. So anyway, thank you, and thank you, Christina.
So dessert is going to be served now, and I just want to thank people because then Chris is going to come out and sing a couple of songs and meet and mingle, meet people. So as I just want to thank the last people that came tonight, all the honorees, the ambassador to Italy, the ambassador to Mexico, Congressman King, who flew all the way here tonight, even though this is his week off. Thank you, Peter, for coming and joining us tonight. Lawrence Cage and Joe Mondello, one of my favorite, Monsignor Rossi, who is such God's servant and really deserved that award. He does so much. When the popes came here, the Basilica works very, very hard. And so honored to have so many of you tonight. The Archbishop Pierre, our Papal Nuncio, we bless you, we thank you, we pray for you. And Michael Warsaw, thank you so much for teaching us about Mother Angelica and showing her our life. Dr. Robert Smith, thank you for sharing with us what you're doing, great things with the healthcare, and so deserving, and keep going with that. And Al Sapanta, my ranger, you're like our Secretary Nicholson, our rangers that are always defending our country and taking care of so many things. So thank you so much. I want to just say a couple more things. I would like to remember Ed Malloy, who first helped start our museum here, has passed away. I'd like to remember him and all the good things that he did. I also would like to remember Timothy Barton. Timothy Barton is our chairman of the board for many years, and he is in China. His lovely daughter, Victoria Barton, would you stand up? We all know Tim. He's done a beautiful job many, many years. Couldn't have done it without Tim for many, many years. And then I would also like to thank Chuck Kilbride, who I've known for a very long time, and all of these, and thank you for bringing Joe Mondello. Is he the best? Where is Joe? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without all of you tonight. And my son Patrick Cox, and our staff, Lynn, Lucy, and Anna, and the great Oreo Catering, John Farr Lighting, and the beautiful, and where's Chris? So we're going to end with Chris tonight. And I want to thank you again for joining us, because we are a museum built by angels. Good night.
Once again, let's hear it for Christina Cox, everybody.